another time. So we are recording. Tonight we have Amy, is it Lauer? Is that how you say it?
LAUER, yep.
Yeah. With us, and she's going to be just basically chatting with us about how she's been coaching for 30 months. She's in her 40s and she just went elite. So she's a 5-star diamond coach. She's just killing this business. And it was funny, she's on our team Alive and Well, but she has her own team, Team Impact. And it was just like weekly, I was seeing her shout people out for diamond. And I'm like, what's going on here? What is she doing? So I'm very excited to learn from her tonight. And I'm so excited that you guys came and wanted to chat with her. So we'll take it away, Amy. You can take it away now.
All right, you guys. Thank you first, excuse me, for having me. It's such a privilege to do something like this, just because I still feel new in this business, and I know I'm 45, how mature. I love that she asked me how mature I was instead of how old I was. But I'm 45 years young, and I feel 45 years young because of Beachbody, right? Like, I started my journey, I'll kind of go back to the beginning. So my journey started with 20 years in healthcare. I worked in pediatrics. I was a mom first, like everything was about my children. I'm very proud of. My daughter just graduated from the University of Oregon. My son is going to be a junior at Oregon State University, and it was actually his graduation year from high school that I was happy. I mean, I've been married almost 25 years. I had great kids. I had a job, a career that I liked. You know, I wasn't super passionate about it, but I liked it. And, you know, we have a beautiful home, and like all the things, all the boxes were checked, right? Like I felt like I had a successful, fulfilling life. What was missing was the piece of me that I just was disconnected from. I let myself get overweight. I actually, when I joined Beachbody, I was at home doing a video for my son's high school graduation. And I'm trying not to cry here, but I was trying to find pictures of myself with him, our video. And I couldn't find any. Like, I had all these pictures of my husband and my kids together, and some of just my kids, and some just with my husband and my child. And I just was like, where am I in all of these life events of his? And it's, you know what, you guys, it was because I cut myself out, completely annihilated myself from his pictures, from basically his life. Because when I went to put it all together, I was absent. And it was just something that struck me and hit me that was like, wow, how did I let this happen? And I was also sad. He was getting ready. He was my last child leaving the nest. I was going to be an empty nester. And I identified my entire life was mom. Like, my children were my everything. I didn't have anything for myself. And so when he was walking out the door and I was putting all this stuff together, I realized, you know, that I had just spent 42 years dumping into my job and my husband and my children, and I left myself out to dry. So in comes Beachbody, in comes a post on social media. I actually had Penny Wade as my coach, and I had been watching her. I'd known her for years. She was a teacher at my kids' school. I had watched her journey. She'd invited me several times, I'll just say that. And I was like, no, thanks, I'm good. Like, I didn't really want to drink a shake. I'd done other things before that I tried, and I didn't want to diet. And I just watched her. And I don't know if you guys know Penny's story, but Penny was 372 pounds when she started her journey. Okay. And that's how I knew Penny. Like, Penny was, you know, since my kids were in elementary school, Penny was 372 pounds. She talks about it openly. She had diabetes. We went to the same church. We lived in the same community. And I knew her. I saw her around. And you guys, she had invited me on this journey, and I was watching her do her stuff. And I was so proud of her. I was like, you know, good for you. Always rooting her on. Never annoyed by what she was doing. I just didn't want to join it for some reason. And one day, the same day, I think, that all of this had happened with my child that was leaving and exiting, and me not being able to put this video together, Penny posted a picture of herself with her weight, and she weighed less than I did. And I just started crying because she had invited me so many times, and I told her no so many times. And here I was at a really low point in my life, and I couldn't even be happy for some, right? You know, you guys, when people are watching us and we think, oh, they're annoyed by us or they're rolling their eyes or us, they're ignoring us. No, they're just unhappy with themselves. And I think that is part of a huge part of my success, is that I know that I'm not bugging people when I'm asking them about this journey. I reached out to Penny and I was like, fine, tell me what you're doing. And I still didn't want the shake. I still turned down everything that was offered to me, which again, I think makes me a better coach, more understanding when people are not a shake person, because I wasn't a shake person. I swore when I bought my challenge pack, I would return the shake. And Penny said, just give it 30 days, like lean in with me, drink it every single day. If you hate it, you can get your money back. And I was like, okay, I'll drink it all, but I'm going to get my money back. And you guys, we all know the story. I fell in love with it. Like, it changed my life. I went all in on 21-day fix. I drank my shake every single day. I lost 13 pounds in my first round, and I felt like $1,000,000. And I remember reaching out to her before my 30 days was up as a customer. And I was sitting on the couch one time this night, and she had posted again. She was at some retreat with all these girls on this team. And I was like, and Penny's 54. I don't know if you guys know that too. She's older than I am. And at 42, I thought, gosh, like, she looks like she just has a really fun life. Like, I'm watching her with her friends and she's healthy and she's happy. And I wonder, and I looked at my husband and I was like, do you think I could do that? And I swear to God, you guys, had he said anything but what he said, I would have laughed it off and poo-pooed it and thought, no way. But he was like, yeah, you could absolutely do that. You would rock that. And I was like, yeah, 50 pounds overweight, at my lowest, totally depressed and feeling like life was over because my children were leaving me. I got a glimpse that maybe I could do this life, that maybe I could be a coach, that maybe I could get in the best shape of my life and help other people do that too, and pay this forward. And that's what I did. I called Penny and I was like, okay, I want to coach. If I'm going to do this, I want to go all in. Like, within my first 30 days, you guys, I was like, it was in March 2018. And she said, okay, like, let's get you signed up. And I said, what do I have to do? Like, right? That's the big question. What do you have to do? And she said, you have to help 3 people. Like, you have to hit Success Club. Like, that's really, if you want to build a business, you need to help 3 people a month. I really wanted the cruise that was coming up in 2019. I was like, how do I get on that cruise? And like, I just, those little tiny things, I said, I want to keep it simple. I didn't want to complicate things, but I just wanted to be able to, if I was going to do this, I wanted to be successful at it, right? Because everything I did, I felt like I was successful at being a mom. I was successful at my job. I felt like we were a success at our marriage. Like, if I was going to do this, I was going to go all in, and I wanted to be successful. So I did. I think I hit Emerald in that first week. I hit Success Club in March 2018, and I've never missed Success Club since. And I truly think it's because I just said, what do I have to do? And she said, this is what you have to do. And it just was so easy to me. In my mind, I was like, 3 people, that's so easy. That's like less than 1 person a week. Like, I can help 1 person a week. I mean, it just like, that was my mindset on it. So I did. And I just continued to do that. I hit Diamond. I went to my first summit, which, if I can tell you guys anything, if you've never been to a Beachbody event, it will change your life. I went to Summit in July, and I think I was still probably maybe double Emerald when I went to Summit, because I was still signing up I was hitting Success Club 28 and 30. Like, you guys, they told me to help 3 people, and I was just like, I just kept sending invites. I kept telling everybody how great I felt. The more people I invited and the more people that I got to do this with me, the more weight I lost, the better I felt about myself. Like, I felt successful, right? And it's one of those things. It really is your belief and your consistency in your workouts. It's going to get you results. And if you have that same belief and same consistency in your business, you're going to get those results, right? It's showing up every day, day in and day out, knowing you have a purpose, knowing you have an end goal. And to me, it was Success Club, and it was that trip, and it was building a community that I could thrive with, and that held me accountable. And it literally changed my life. I'll pause for a minute because I know I talk fast. If you guys have any questions, you can chime in.
I just love it. I love all of it, because it took me a while to kind of get there. Like, it wasn't one of those things for me where I'm like, okay, I'm going to hit Success Club right off the bat. But the moment I hit Success Club, the first month I hit it, I have not hit Success Club since then.
Right.
It's just that like getting that taste of it, it's just been like this ball that keeps rolling. Even last month, like I was very close to not hitting Success Club 10. Like I hit Success Club 10 on the last day of the month. And my heart, like I was just like, oh my gosh. And I'm pregnant. So like I wasn't showing up the way I normally do. And I was like, it has to do with the pregnancy. Like, oh my gosh, like normally I hit this goal by like the 15th of the month. Like here I am on the last day of the month, hoping that I hit Success Club 10. So I did hit it, thankfully, but it was one of those things where like once you have that in your head, that is like your end goal of every month, that like you don't let that go, right? Like once you're on that momentum. So I love that. I love that she started you out thinking that that's what you had to do. And I love that because, you know, it works. Like, I'm sure that's what you tell your coaches too, moving forward, right?
Absolutely.
So,
It's a non-negotiable. Like I drink my shake every day. I hit Success Club every month. Like it's not I wonder if I'll hit Success Club. If I haven't hit 10 by the 10th of the month, I panic. My husband says, oh my gosh, here we go again. Like it's the 11th, like you're fine. Like, you know, I like to hit Success Club. I think it's important to build your business and to keep growing. And I like the accolades. Like I'm motivated by recognition and gifts. So when Beachbody sends me a free shirt or is going to send me on a trip, like it doesn't matter what level, if I'm going to get a little trophy or if I'm going to get a big trip, I want to win, right? So I think it's just really having that belief and that passion of wanting something. I don't know, for me it was just more than myself. Like I love helping other women. I love when women come to me and, you know, and they're like, what do you do? And I can't wait to share with what I'm doing. I never feel salesy. I hear people say that a lot. They're just like, you know, how do you get over being salesy? And like, don't be salesy, you guys. Like nobody wants to be sold to. I didn't want to be sold to. And I think that was why. I think it's just how I was in the approach of sometimes how I was asked. It just felt salesy and it didn't feel like, hey, come do this community with me. So when I realized that that's what was happening, that it's just like anything, like if you have a shirt at Target that's super cute and you're so excited about it and you go on, you know, and you show it on social media and you're sharing what you love. And then everybody's like, where'd you get that shirt? And you're like, hey, you send them to Target, right? Like it's the same thing. Like we're not the expert. We're just the middle guy who loves what we do, who enjoys the products, who super train. Like that's another thing. Can we just talk about like what we offer that's so freaking cheap? It's so cheap, you guys. A year of Beachbody On Demand, a super trainer in your living room, right? Nutrition courses, like thousands. I worked in healthcare. People would pay thousands of dollars. Their insurance company would put out thousands of dollars for them to go see a nutritionist to get the plans that we get on Beachbody On Demand now with MBF, like completely free and added. Like this is a steal. I tell people all the time, it's like, we're giving this away. Like I really feel like that. I would pay double for my Shakeology. It blows me away how cheap this stuff is. And again, if you believe that, if you love it and you drink it every day and you know how good it is for you and you know the value of it and you share that with people versus, you know, if you think, oh, it's kind of expensive, then that's what your people are going to think. But if you're like, no, this stuff is gold and they should sell it for 3 times as much, because if you went out to buy the superfoods individually or the vitamins, the phytonutrients, the adaptogens, like all the things that you get in Shakeology for 97 bucks, like it's so freaking cheap. Or I don't know, is it different in Canada? However much it is there. In Oregon, it's $97. But it's just dirt cheap.
yeah, it is. And that's the other thing I wanted to say is like, I actually go into my conversations with that mindset. I don't know if you guys shy away from acting this way, but I always say like, you will not believe this deal. Like you have no idea how much value is in this. And when I say it to people like that, rather than, oh, like, I know it's a little bit expensive, but like, maybe you can work it into your budget this month. Like, think of how different that sounds, right? Like you know what we're worth, right? As a coach, as like the super trainers, like she was saying, like, it's just crazy to me how just switching up your wording and switching up your mentality as well will help you get those people in your corner, because all of a sudden it's not so much like, oh, well, if she's second guessing the price, like maybe I should too, right? So yeah, I agree totally. Sorry.
With my younger coaches who are like, oh, you know, they're just like, I can't get people to commit to the price because it's expensive, and that's usually what they say. And it's like, okay, they go to Starbucks or Dutch Brothers at least once a day. I know that I went twice, right? Because I'd go in the morning on my way to work, I drink my Starbucks. By 3 o'clock, I was crashing. I had to go back and get a Starbucks because I love the sugar, right? I mean, when it all comes down to it, you guys, I'd spend $5 like that on a Starbucks twice a day sometimes. And if I was in the drive-thru, I might as well grab a muffin top too, or whatever else they have with it, right? And it just was, I literally would spend $10 or $15. And when you think about it like that, when you break it down for people like that, like it's $3.33 a day to drink my shake. And it's healthy nutrition. It tastes delicious, especially you mix it with peanut. I do cafe latte with peanut butter and banana and almond milk and ice. And anyway, I always have, when I sign people up too, if they live close to me, I bring them to my house and I show them my setup. I'm like, look at Beachbody On Demand. And I show them all the things and I make them a shake and I give them a couple energy packets. And like, I literally I love this so much. And literally people, they join because I love it. I truly think that. I truly think that they see how much I love it and they're like, okay, like where do I sign? So make sure that you have that kind of energy when you're talking to people, when you're going into it, when you're sharing, like what are the things that you love about it? What did it replace for you? Like the coffee at Starbucks, you know, having a shake every day. Or Orange Theory, people pay, especially young people, $150 a month to join Orange Theory. A month, $160, they get our entire product line, everything. Like it's insane to me. It's insane to me. So
yeah,
I think just have to be mindset.
I actually used to work at a gym and I was behind the front desk. So I actually could see how much people were paying for a 1-hour session with a personal trainer. And people would pay $100 for a 1-hour session with a personal trainer. Like, and they would do that 3 times a week. Like they were on a plan where they were coming 3 times a week to be with that trainer. Like that's $300 a week plus your gym membership that you're paying monthly for. So people will pay the money. They just need to know that what you have is valuable for sure. Right?
Yep. And reading personal development every day. I mean, that's what I loved about this job too, is like, this is the first time I've had a job that was pouring to me. Like I had to fill my own cup before I could help anyone else. Right. Just like being a mom. To me, I look at it a lot. It's like being a mom. Like I should have taken care of myself first so that I can take care of my kids. Right. Whenever you're going to go out and help anybody to do anything, right? You have to go first. You have to lead, just like with a team, with your challenge group, with anything in life. You have to take care of yourself first. So reading personal development, I got to pour into me. Doing my pressing play every day, I got to pour into me. Drinking my shake, I got to fill my own cup, right? And so when you're doing that, when you're doing those 4, I know it sounds so redundant and people hate hearing about the 4 vital behaviors. You guys, life-changing. I mean, truly, when people are not, when my girls on my team are feeling like things aren't working in their business, I always circle them back to how is your journey going? Because 9 times out of 10, it's that they're not taking care of themselves. They're not they're not reading personal development. They're not pushing play on their workouts. They're not committed to a program. They're not drinking Shakeology every day. You can't promote something that you're not doing, right? And when you're doing those things, you want to shout it from the rooftops. Like you feel so good that you want everybody to feel that good. So really taking a mental check of what am I doing for myself today and how am I showing up? Because that's how other people are going to see you and how you're going to come off to other people. So I just think that's super important. Knowing your story, knowing your why. I did write a couple things down here. Really trying to remember when you're talking to people, how did you feel when you signed up, right? Like I remember that screen popping up and the little box of Shakeology saying that I was going to be charged every month, you know, for $130 for a bag of Shakeology. Like I remember seeing and thinking, I'm not doing that, right? Like, so you got to put yourself in that position of of your customer, when you're talking to them, be like, hey, when I'm talking to a customer, I always let them know. I say, hey, especially if I try to get them signed up as a coach, just because they're going to save 25% off and the cancellation is exactly the same. I let them know that the waives the $39.95 fee, you get it with the coach package. If you want to continue on Shakeology, you're on the discount. If you don't want to continue on Shakeology, we just cancel it all and it's done. So same process, it just saves some paperwork later. Some people are really weird about not wanting to put in their social security number, or just like, no, I just want to try it. So I always tell them, okay, you're going to get the screen pop up. It's going to give you a little checkbox that says you're going to get charged $130 every month. That's not going to happen, because one, if you hate it, you're going to drink the entire bag. You're going to show up with me. You're not going to put it in the cupboard. You're going to drink it every day. And you're going to do this program with me, because after 30 days, if you hate it and you don't like the way it makes you feel, you get your money back 100%. If you love it, we're going to switch you over and you're going to get 25% off that. I'm not going to let you pay full price. There's no reason for that. You'll get my discount. So that right there immediately diffuses the fire of them opening a screen that says that they're committed. And now they don't sign up for 2 days, 3 days. Now they've lost that passion. They saw that post that made them want to join you, and it's gone away, right? That thought has gone away, and you're like, hey, but you were so excited. Where'd you go? Well, they opened that screen and they saw the $130 monthly charge and they decided they weren't going to join you. So having that conversation up front eases their mind. It also lets them know, like I share with people, I was like, I wasn't a shake person either. I refused. I was going to return it. Oh my gosh, wait until you taste it. Wait until you feel the effects of it. It's going to give you more energy. It's going to curb your appetite. You're going to feel amazing. And they're like, okay, right? Like, who doesn't want to feel amazing? But you have to preface it with that, right? You want them that excited going into it, to where, and then they know they're going to get a 25% discount if they love it. So just setting them up for success from the very beginning. I just think that's super important. And then remembering how you felt, about going into a group, being put into a challenge group. For me, again, I was older. I was set in my ways and really didn't think that I would post and didn't want to be a part of a group. I'm like, I don't need the group. Yeah, you do. Like I tell everybody, it's like, I don't ask them. I say, I'm going to add you to my Facebook group. You can be a fly on the wall. I just add value. I put motivation in there. Feel free to draw from it as much as you want. I can be your accountability partner. You can just send me text messages if that's more comfortable to you. But if they're not in the group, you guys, they're not seeing other people get results. They're not seeing other people show up. They're not seeing the community that's I think what makes Beachbody so special is that community, right? So to not be in the group is not an option. And I'm not I don't do bod groups just because it doesn't have the same feel for me. I'm a Facebook person, and so I really love my Facebook groups, and I feel like we all show up and we're all connected there, and I just feel a little disconnected with bod groups. If you guys are using them and you're loving them, that's great. But I really feel like having people in my Facebook group is super important. I think it's a game changer for them and their results. And all those people who tell me I won't post, they show up and they take a picture, and then they get all this comments and love, and then they're like, this is the best thing ever. It's like, yeah, right? Like it really is the best thing ever. So yes, remembering about that, Shakeology, I touched on that point. How do you feel today versus day one? Like when you got invited, like how did you feel? And then after you finished a program, like how do you feel? So really being in touch with that, because we got to meet our people when they're signing up with us, and when we're reaching out to them, we got to meet them where they're at. They're not, as they don't know what to expect, right? So it's up to us to tell them, listen, I remember how that felt. Really just being connected with the fact that they're not where we are, but that we're going to give them that hope and that purpose and that passion, that we will get them where they want to be. We will get them feeling amazing. So speaking that belief over and over, showing up consistently, like those are my superpowers, right? That we don't have superpowers. We show up consistently and invite. I don't even call it inviting anymore. I can't wait to scream this to anyone who will listen to me. I heard one time, it was Danielle Natoni. I think I mentioned this on another team call that I was on with you, Paige, but I was on one of her team calls, and she said, if you're not known as the crazy Beachbody lady in your town, you're doing it wrong. Like, everywhere I go. I am in my Team Impact t-shirt today. I have my Shakeology, my jacket, my coach. I walk around with this. There's always something yellow or shake in it. Like everywhere I go. In my group, my dentist is in there, my Verizon lady, my kid's pediatrician. Like everywhere I go, anybody who will listen to me, I tell them about this because I love it that much. And I think that when you love something and when you're passionate about it and you're talking about it, it's a game changer as far as feeling like you're selling something to make money, right? Like you genuinely have to have that heart of helping other people, and you want everybody to feel that good. So that's it. That's all I got.
I love it. You are amazing. Thank you so much. I'm going to actually open the floor to anybody. Does anyone have anything they'd like to ask Amy? If you're maybe having a conversation with somebody right now and you're trying to kind of seal the deal, maybe she can help you navigate it. Anything you guys want to talk to her about your business, you guys go right ahead. She's all yours right now. So anybody?
I'm curious because I've just been like kind of exploring different things like that I can do to set me apart and like to kind of start building relationships without it instantly being like Beachbody, you know what I mean? And I'm just curious if you as a coach do or use any of like those freemiums, like newsletters and things like that.
I've never, I've tried to run a free group one time and I just didn't have any luck with it. I felt like it was a waste of my time and a waste of asking people. So I personally I didn't feel like I had success. I felt like I am pretty good at talking to people about how much I love this and just having them join. But I do like what you asked, Ashley, as far as like how I show up. I think I am a little different than a lot of coaches. Like you guys, in not one time have I ever posted myself doing a single movement of Beachbody. Like ever. Like the thought of somebody seeing me work out, like I don't want to work out on video for anybody and it's not going to happen. I told Penny that because she's like, oh, just post pictures of your workouts. I was like, not a chance in hell. Like literally, no, I will not do it. I see you guys do it and you're killing it and y'all look good, but I've never done it. And I'm not a big talker on my stories either. My whole upline is like, you need to talk more. You need to do this. I do things a little differently. I connect in different ways. I definitely, people know me. They know my children. They know my husband. They know kind of what makes me tick. I like to put funny things out there. I like to do positive quotes. I always take my sweaty selfie. I'm not super, like, the only thing that I've really changed from day one is that I got a preset, and somebody helped me do that at National Leaders Conference. I didn't even know how to do it because I am not tech savvy. Like all the things that people think that you have to be successful at this business, I am not. So I just want you guys to know that you don't have to do it the way another coach does it. You don't have to in fact, don't be like anybody else. I really truly feel like, I see people do stuff all the time. I don't even have an email. Like you guys, I don't know how to do. I called it chimp mail the other day and somebody said, no, it's MailChimp. Like never. I haven't done anything like that. I'm not organized. I'm a pen and paper girl. I use my tracker. I don't do anything fancy. I really don't. And I'm thankful that people join me every day and I show up with them. That is my challenge group, I would say, is my strength. My ability to have a conversation and to get excited. My crazy energy is my strength, but the rest of it, I don't have it. I don't. And I think that that's okay. I think that we get so stuck on systems, and I am a keep it stupid, simple person. Like when we had that team call, I don't know if everybody was on that with Craig, and he was talking about keeping it stupid, simple. And I was like, oh, this is the guy, because I just truly, I make sure that I'm at Success Club. I make sure that I drink my shake every day. I make sure that I invite anybody who will listen to me, anybody who watches my story. I do on stories, I will do like the jab, jab, hook. Like I'll post a picture of my cow, I'll post a picture of my shake, and then I'll post a call to action. I have a new group. Everybody gets it in. I don't care if I've invited somebody twice or 8 times. There's no discrimination. If I have a new group, everybody gets an invite. If you're watching my stories, if you're on my page, if we connect in any way, that's not cold. Warm invite. I feel like if you're on my page, you know who I am, you know what I'm about, you know what I'm doing. And if I get ghosted, I don't get offended, I don't get butthurt. They'll join me next month. I need Success Club in December too. So it's cool. Like, I'm planting seeds, I'm going out there. I always know that it's going to be on their own timing, but it's my job to invite them. And I just make sure that is how I run my business. Everybody gets an invite. I have a new group that starts every single month, and I like to fill it. So hopefully that answered your question, Ashley. But yeah, I don't have any systems.
Yes, I'm just over here envious and admiring you for that, because I mean, I love social media and I love showing up the way I do, but it almost sometimes gets daunting, and it becomes like these expectations that I feel like are set for myself, you know, like if I don't show up the way I showed up yesterday, then I'm falling short, you know what I mean? And so I really admire the way you go about things and how simple you keep it, because it just goes to show that like it can be done and not just by the way everyone else does it, you know?
Yeah, I know there's days where I'll post a picture of my dog and I'll post a positive quote, and that's all I'll post that day. And sometimes I'll sign up 3 people in that day because I'm behind the scenes working and I'm not on my social media working. And I do think sometimes it falls on deaf ears. Like, I know for me, when I watch people and I see them doing the same thing over and over and over again, like, you kind of forget, you kind of just gloss past it. Versus if someone's really hitting it home once a week, and that's what I try to do. I try to really make sure that I'm hitting it home once a week, and then I'm filling the rest of the week with, I just want them to know me, right? I just kind of want them to see what I'm doing. It's not always about Beachbody. But that's just, again, that's me. That doesn't mean anybody's doing it wrong. I, on the other hand, watch Ashley and Paige and am so envious because I'm like, oh, like, they look incredible when they work out. Their posts, their stories, everything's so pretty. And like, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I wish I had even that kind of talent to put out there, because I think that you clearly, you have something to offer and people love that. I love it. I love watching you guys. So I don't think anybody should change what you're doing. Just do what works for you. Do what you enjoy doing, though. If you do feel like it's daunting and that you are getting burnt out, switch it up. It's okay. People are going to adapt to you however you go.
I have a question for you because I'm super intrigued by your challenge group on Facebook. How does it operate? So do you run a challenge group every month and you just add whoever wants in on that face? Like, is it an ongoing Facebook group that has tons of members that you just continue to add to, and then they all just hop on the same program as you? Or do you kind of make it a multi-program thing, or how does that look?
So what I do is I opened my very first Facebook group, which I still have, with 4 people, because I used to be in my uplines and kind of watched her do it. And there was just some stuff in there that I was like, oh, you know, like, I don't know. I just thought I would do this differently. I would do this differently. I would do this differently. I just kind of watched, and I did the same thing. I took my own flavor. I started a Facebook group, and there's now, I think, 390 people in it or something crazy like that, because I don't, people can leave it if they want to, but I don't kick anybody out. Once you're a part of my Slay Squad, you're always a part of my Slay Squad. If you have BOD, if you have ever been a customer, if you're in my downline or customer base, you are welcome to my Slay Squad. What I do though, and I add value in there all the time. We're showing up. I add, I post in there every single day, whether it's a water challenge post or just a positivity post or a quick check-in or a tip jar, like say something positive that you love about yourself, like it's anything like that. It doesn't have to be program specific. In that Slay Squad, you can be working on any program you want to. Because like I said, those are people who've been with me for 30 months or people who've been with me for 3 months. Everybody goes in that group. But once a month, I run a focus group. I pick a program and we start, and that's what I invite to. And then I take anybody, I announce it in that group. So like, especially when a new program comes out, like the VIP, the coach, when MBF launched in July, it was like, okay, you guys, MBF is coming out. Like, here I am talking, I have 300 some people in this group that I'm talking to get them a new challenge pack, right? Like, why would I send those people out of that group so that when they need something and they fall and they go check out someone else, or like if they're in my group, even if they're not active, even if they're not working out or they're not buying Shakeology, there's gonna probably be a time, and for sure, because I've seen it, where they have fallen off and maybe 4, 5, 6 months have went by and something happened in their life and they're like, I need this again. And they pick up and they order a challenge pack, or they see somebody else getting results. And I start sharing, side by sides, people's results from things, and they're like, whoa, like our group is taking off, and then new people start posting again. So sometimes, people come in and out of it as far as like how they're doing with the program, but they're always able to be in there and get the value because they are my customer. They're still in my customer line, and I'm not sending them to go to Optavia or any of the others, right? Like, I have them here. They already know about Beachbody. They're constantly going to be potentials for me moving forward.
I love
so
that.
In order to get into that new focus group, you have to be, and I always say that in order to be in the new focus group, you have to be active on Shakeology. You have to have the program, obviously, with the program material. So for this one, for MBF, when it launched, I ran an MBF group, and so you needed to order the challenge pack, and then you needed to pick To Be Mindset Ultimate Portion Fix, just because it came with it. And then now I just ran another one, and I announced it in there again. I invited new people from the outside. I said, I'm keeping this one smaller, but I did put it back in that group again. And the people who missed it the first time around decided to buy it this time. So now they have so I always try to keep it to where there's something else happening, and I just make it to where they have to be all in the program to be in that new focus group. A little more one-on-one with me.
I love that. So when you do the daily sweaty selfies, do you do your sweaty selfie and say everyone comment below yours, or how does that work? Is it just all over the map? Does everyone just post whenever, or?
Yeah, because that would be really organized if I did it that way, Paige. I've been in a group like that before, and I just didn't love it. It was like, oh, I gotta find that post and put it there. Nope, everybody's free to post wherever they want to, however they want to. If they want to share their shake for the day, if they want to share their water bottle, if they want to share their recipe, if they want to share a picture of their cute dog, licking their sweat off their face, whatever it is, we just show up. There's no rules. I'm not a rule person. I really am not a rule follower. So I don't put rules on my people. It's just really come as you are. We love you. We're here to support you. We're all in this together, kind of a thing. And so, yeah, I don't even have daily check-ins. I don't give them assignments. It's people who want to do this are going to do this, right? If you want to show up, we can't go and push play for anybody. We can't make them do it. But if we give them the platform and say, hey, if you want this, same with my coaches. I love every one of my coaches, but I'm a runner. And if you want to run with me, I will run with you. If you want to walk, I'm not going to walk with you, but you can walk. And when you're ready to run, let me know, because I will get you there. But it really has to be up to them. I find that, I used to kind of handhold, and I forgot to mention that, you guys, 18 months in, so I've been doing this for 2.5 years. So 18 months in, I had 4 working coaches. All were double, triple emerald or above, 1 diamond. And all of them quit last November. Everybody quit on me last November, except for my diamond. She stayed in there. But she wasn't sure. She always worried she was going to lose it. She was a stress case. And I literally thought about, gosh, maybe this doesn't work. Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I loved it, and I knew I was going to keep showing up for me, but I was maybe I'm just not meant to, earn that 6-figure income or be a 5-star diamond. Even though it was my dream, I just, whenever into the holidays, it got hard. People were feeling like they weren't being successful. And so it really was a moment where I had to dig in with, I was unstable there, sorry. And I just got to the point where I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep showing up. I'm going to keep being me, because I felt amazing doing it. And I knew that if I was still getting results and I was still feeling amazing, I was winning. And by April, I had 5 new, my coach is pretty much, my team is pretty brand new. I mean, in April, I had all 4 of my most recent diamonds started from April and above. And it's just, it can happen. It can turn around like that for you, but you just got to keep showing up and being consistent and know why you're doing it, what your purpose is. And it just turns on. And when it turns on big. And just know that that's going to happen eventually. I was once told when I started that the only people who aren't successful in this business are the people who quit. And I 100% believe that. Had I quit, had I walked away when everybody else did, I wouldn't be sitting here today. And I will never quit. I will not, even if all my diamonds drop me tomorrow and decide that they don't want this for their life, I'm still going to be here. I'm going to be showing up. You guys can hold me to it. And you know what? I'll build a new team. I'll grow. I'll go. Keep doing what I'm doing. But I'm not going to quit. I love this too much. I'm too passionate about it. It's changed my life. I know what we have is gold, and I am going to continue forever. So.
I love that. Danielle, do you want to ask anything? You've been unmuted for a bit there.
Yeah, I was gonna chime in a little bit earlier. No, I was just honestly listening. It's like as you're saying things, I'm going back to conversations that I've had with people, and I'm realizing like, oh shit, maybe that's where I went wrong, or like that's how I can change things. And I love that you said there's no way I'm not gonna let you, or there's no way I'm going to let you pay full price for this. I thought that was awesome, because it's so true. Like if you're one of my great friends and I'm trying to give you something that's gonna change your life, why would I let you pay full price for it, right? So there's like 3 or 4 people that I'm talking to that are interested in Shakeology, and yeah, it's like no.
Oh, where did you go? You're muted, babe. Oh.
Did you mute me? Where did you cut me off?
I didn't cut you off. You go right ahead, girl.
No, but it's like this girl's interested. She's like, I see your shakes on your story every day. They look so good. Can I purchase just those? And like in my head, I asked the girls in the group chat, I said, can people purchase just Shakeology? And then when I was thinking about it, it's like, why would you just spend $156 on Shakeology when you can purchase a challenge pack and get the workouts for it too, right? So now in my head, I'm like thinking back to like the 5 conversations that I've been having, and I'm like, how can I go back in? How can I retouch them for a second time or a third time? Like figure it out and go a different way about it. But definitely some good info for sure.
So one of the things I do when somebody just wants the workouts or they just want Shakeology, I go in my BB links and I screenshot, I pull up Shakeology, the link, and I screenshot it, and it shows Shakeology. So it shows a single bag with the price, and then I do the challenge pack. I screenshot it. I don't send a link. I don't want them to order anything from it. I just want them to see what all they get. It literally lists the year, the nutrition, like it lists everything, and it shows a $530 savings. And I send it to them. I'm like, yeah, you can do it this way or you can do it this way. It's your choice. Like way better value, saves you a ton of money. You get everything, and you pay for a year. And then it's like always they go with the pack.
Yeah, I know. I
So
just think
really
that like, yeah, I think I just, I get so eager and I get so excited when I'm talking to people that like all logic kind of just like gets freed from my mind. And I'm like, oh wait, I could have done it that way. Or maybe this would have sounded better. And then I'll try like waiting a little bit and then going back in again. But there are a few people that are on my list. So after hearing this call, I have some work to do, I think.
You're doing great. You know what? And that's how we learn. When I started, I didn't know what I was doing either, and I'd send all these text messages. Life got real good when there was that little voice memo box. I'm a talker, right? And so it's like I have to rein it in though. It's like, ooh, if I've sent 3 messages in a row, I need to like I know what to think, because I just get so excited about it.
Yeah, it's true.
So I'm about to ask, like, go ahead. Go ahead. No, Teresa, go ahead, because I want to finish it with this question. So you go ahead if you have a question.
This one's a little personal, and I don't know if you've had any like situations, but I have a couple of friends. I feel like a lot of people in BC are like, there's lots of personal trainers, lots of people like health, fitness, blah, blah, blah. And I've had a lot of trainers ask about our programs and stuff, but the number one question that I get is like, okay, but then how do I like do my business and like as well as Beachbody, you know? And so I just like, and I've lost 3 people this way so far. And I don't know what to say. Like, I don't know how to explain that, because it's true. Like you can get pre and post workout. And I remember when I first like started and I started selling like the challenge packs, I sold everyone on the pre and post workout because I loved it. But where my mistake was is I should have done Shakeology, because you actually can't get that anywhere. You know what I mean? It's not something that you can buy off the shelf. And so I now have like changed the way that I go about it, and 9 times out of 10 people will continue to go Shakeology, whereas I find like pre and post workout, it is a very particular like taste, I say. But yeah, I just like, I always like, I get into these conversations with lots of like health and fitness trainers, and it's like, I don't know what to say after that, right? Because they're getting a smoking deal. They're paying $186 for a full year. That's not including whatever. And if you sign up as a coach, it's $116 for your Shakeology. I had a girl sign up last week and she got $50 for the 3 months, and now she's asking me for Shakeology. And I told her, you should have gone with the challenge pack. It was $186. Like, I explained that all out of the gates. But now she's paying more for literally 2 things, right? And it's only 3 months. It's not including the full year and stuff. And so I'm just like in this place now where these conversations are happening and I don't know how to navigate them, like those kinds of conversations.
Well, I have a couple of trainers that are in my groups, and I think the opposite. Like, I think this is the best thing ever for them. Like, a lot of them tried to come up with their own meal plans, and it's like Beachbody does that for you. You don't have to be the expert. You can be like, you still want to train them, that's great, but get them on Shakeology, get them in 2B mindset. Like, how great is it that you have these tools that you can really get them off Beachbody blog, print them for your people, whatever, or navigate them. A personal trainer gets an hour with you a week. What are your people doing the rest of the time, right? Like, give them something to do at home. Give them an assignment. Like, have them do 4 days a week of Lift 4 when they're not with you, and then have them follow 2B mindset and drink Shakeology. Gosh, how much better results are you going to give your customer as a personal trainer when they're getting a program all week long and only you once a week? It can it enriches their lives, right? And I mean, eventually, yes, maybe they'll think, oh, I don't need a personal trainer, and that's what they're worried about, that's going to go. But if they're successful in Beachbody, they're going to make more money. So, I mean, it's just a matter of them picking out what they really, where they want to put this thing. What I find though, I have like a lot of people, they work for the YMCA, and it's like, why would you do that when you can work for yourself?
Honestly.
Like, the YMCA takes their cut, right? The people pay $25 for whatever they're paying them, but half of that they get like 10 of it. Mm-hmm. So it kind of just maybe figuring out what they're really looking, what their long-term goal is. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person though. Always, you guys, no matter who you're talking to. Danielle, I kind of wanted to touch that on with you, because you were saying like, oh, what I said, you can't say the wrong thing. You really can't. So it's always navigate, and just know that if they want this, they'll do it.
Yes, I agree. My brother, actually, he's a personal trainer and he has his kinesiology degree and everything. He was asking me the other day, well, can I be a coach and create my own programs? And I'm like, well, it doesn't really work that way, but you could create a hybrid calendar and you could go through the program library and you could make your own little program using the programs they're given, but make it like the Braden hybrid. Do you know what I mean? So he was like, okay, yeah, I could do something like that, because then like you're still kind of creating something, right? You still sort of feel like you're the one in control in that sense, but you're letting the super trainers do most of the work. So yeah, I find that also helps too, to sort of say like, you can sort of personalize it your own way, you know, like it'll be your business. You can do with it as you wish, right? So yeah, and like being a personal trainer, like you're able to suggest them what programs you think would best suit the needs that they're after and the goals that they're after, right? Like, so I think that that's huge for sure. Definitely. Cool. Well, does anybody have another question? Because I do have like a kind of more like personal question for Amy. So if anyone wants to ask anything else, just go ahead. Or you guys good? Yeah. Okay, well, obviously income disclaimer, and only share what you want to share, but maybe just tell us a little bit about how your income has progressed over the last 30 months and sort of like what we would be in for if we went 5-star elite. What
All
that
right.
would look
So
like.
I quit. I was able to, my goal when I started this was that I wanted to quit my full-time job. I worked for 20 years in healthcare. I received from the time that I started my job until the time that I quit my job, I had received a $10.24 raise over 20 years, you guys, 20 years. And I got a $10.24 raise. And I thought about that and was like, that sucks. Like when I started looking at Beachbody and the opportunity, I was like, I want to quit my job in a year. Like that was my goal. Be here in a year. I want to quit my job. Like, what do I need to do? Again, I was hungry. I had a lot of purpose. I wanted to lose weight. So many things, right? And I wanted to quit my job and I wanted to get on that cruise. And I wanted to hit Success Club. Like you have to want it. But I did at 13. And I remember hitting my 12-month mark. And I was like, like I'm right here. I was getting ready to go. I was 1-star diamond and getting ready to go 2-star. And my husband said, go 2-star and you can quit your job. Like it started to all come together. And I ended up doubling my income from what I used to make. I now way surpassed the income I used to make. I'm glad you asked, Paige. So I wrote on my vision board when I started this, I live in Oregon and I've always wanted to live in Texas. And I wanted to quit my job and I wanted to retire my husband. My husband quit his job last week. He will get another one eventually, but he doesn't have to right now. My job has replaced mine and my husband's income. We are moving to Texas on the 15th of October. We are debt free. I'm selling my house. Like you guys, I feel like I'm 45. I told you that, right? I feel like we are newlyweds. I feel like my life is just starting. Like my kids are gone. It's just me and my husband and my little dog. And I feel like I didn't even know. I flew down there 2 weeks ago to look for a place to live. And it was so overwhelming to try to find a house. And my husband said, why don't we just like rent something and we can travel, because it's something I've always wanted to do, and then we'll build a house on a lake. And so I rented this gorgeous condo in Lake Travis, and we're gonna live there for 15 months, and we're gonna build our dream home in the area where we can. So it changed my life 100%. Like when I think about where I sat 2 years ago, 30 months ago on my couch and wondered if I could do this too, if I could be a coach, if I could help people, if I could lose 50 pounds and keep it, like 100 times over, you guys, this is for everybody. This is for everybody. And I don't care how old you are. I don't care what obstacles you have in your way. If you want this, go get it, because it's yours. People who love you and believe in you and trust in you, building know, like, and trust on social media. That's what we're doing all day, by the way, when we're posting. You guys, we're not posting just to hear ourselves and see our sweaty selfies. We are building know, like, and trust. And when you are successful, people will ask you at the beginning, why are you doing this? So many people ask me, why are you doing this? Like, why are you doing this? And now they ask me how I did this. And just know that you will have that too. If you go all in, if you show up, if you're consistent and know where you're going and keep working towards that. You guys have an amazing leader with Paige. I'm so excited for you guys. I know I'm excited for your team. I'm excited to see where you all can go. Lean in together and do it together, because there's nothing more fun than that. We did a diamond push group with my team. We just finished it 6 weeks ago because we just qualified. And it was the best thing ever to get to do it together. So I really encourage you all to lean in and do that with Paige. Good times.
That is amazing. Well, you guys, that's just it, right? Like Amy doesn't talk on her story. She doesn't post her workout. She's 45 years old. She works from her power hour. She's been doing this 30 months and she's debt free and like living her best life. Her husband's at home with her. So yeah, like if Amy can do this, like who else can do this, right? So I just want you guys to leave this call with a bit of belief in yourself. Like you guys are all, and I was saying this to Amy earlier, anyone who shows up for this call wants this. You know what I mean? They have carved this time out of their lives because they wanted to hear from somebody who's not just like made it in this, but it's just, listen to her, like, listen to how much she loves it, you know, like you can tell that she's just full of love for her life because what she brings to the table each day. So that's something that I'm like extremely happy for, that you just carved a little bit of time out for us tonight so that they could hear from you, because you're incredible and we love you so much.
Thank you. I love you guys. But I'm super excited to watch. I'll be watching for all of you. Come join me. It's lonely. Like you want everybody just holding hands on stage together, right? We can all be there. I love that about Beachbody. Beachbody does not say only this many people can be successful. Like we can all be 5-star diamond elite coaches, you guys. Every single person, every single face on this call. Like there's no limit, there's no cap. Everybody gets to be there. So come join me.
Can we, Alyssa, are you around to put your face on, or are you kind of busy and just sort of in and out? You don't have to be on if you don't want to, but I kind of want to take a picture. I wish, Ash left, but I'll still tag her. Okay, we'll do a quick boomerang, okay? Say 1, 2, 3, thank you, thank you. Hold on, wait.
Did we get it?
I kind of went premature there. We'll do one more. 1, 2, 3. So cute. Well, thank you so much, Amy.
Bye, you guys.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.